Good evening, Chris. I reached out to several schools around the state, and many were unable to give me a definitive answer about whether or not they would be requiring COVID vaccinations this fall. The University of Minnesota sent us a statement saying the university has not made a final decision regarding COVID-19 vaccine requirements. At this time, the university continues to actively track and follow federal and state laws and guidance regarding the use, administration, and approval of vaccines. St. Thomas, Hamline, and St. Cloud State all said that they are currently in the planning process and would not say whether or not there would be a COVID vaccine requirement. Vaccine requirements are nothing new for colleges. Many already require at least one vaccine of some sort for enrollment. It is worth noting, though, that public schools would need permission from the state to mandate COVID vaccines from students. I also spoke with St. Catherine University in St. Paul and Minnesota State Mankato, and both schools say at this time they are not planning on requiring COVID vaccinations this fall.
Right now, we think that that's the right path as guidance that we're receiving from the Minnesota Department of Health. It is our hope, of course, that for us, that every Maverick tries to make the best decision they can to take care of other Mavericks. And for many of us, that's going to mean making the choice to receive the vaccine.
The vaccine is, as I'm sure you're well aware, under emergency use authorization, which alters legally our ability to mandate or require a vaccine.
Now, if schools follow the lead of Duke University, then there would be accommodations for students who are exempt from the COVID vaccine due to medical or religious reasons. Of course, we will keep you updated on when we receive a final decision from colleges on whether or not they will require COVID vaccinations. Chris, back to you.
All right. Thank you, Hannah. Appreciate it.